What's up, everybody? It's Glenn back with Big Jack with another best bets of the NFL weekend video. Last week, Jack went 2-1 to improve his record to 16-11 overall on the season. I had my first losing week in some time. I went 1-2. Honestly, some bad picks. I got lucky that the Bears found a way to cover. That Seahawks pick against the Ravens was really fucking bad. Hopefully, I turned it back around this week. That being said, on the season, still a really good record, 15-9 with 3 pushes. So if you look at both our records, Jack's right about 60%. I'm just over 60% on the season. You love to see it. Let's keep the momentum rolling this week, Big Jack. I'm going to bounce back. You're going to keep it rolling. You've been hot. You've been like, I think in your last 3 weeks, you're almost like 8-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I've been scolding. Like I said last week, I mean, the tough start,
Yeah.
1-5, and now I'm, in the last few weeks up to, 15-5 or
15 and 6.
15-6,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
a hell of a
So
record.
yeah, it's been good, and like we always talk about with the new 17 game season, it's a little different now where you feel like you don't necessarily get a good grip on teams a little bit closer towards, like back end of November into Thanksgiving. It used to sort of be by Halloween, you would kind of have a good picture of what teams were and, where they were going. Now it feels like that falls just another couple weeks deeper into the season, just mixed with the longer season and the additional playoff spot. It gives teams a little more room for some trial and error, some veteran teams to sort of go through the motions earlier on in the year before they start to pick it up. But I feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
Absolutely.
I mean, those records are well above the professional 55% mark. So we just got to keep it going, keep improving as the season moves along here.
Yeah, I mean, combined, we're 31-20 with a couple pushes. So, I mean, that's a great record. All right, let's get right into it. My first pick of the week, Lions coming off a bye. I like them -3 at the LA Chargers. The Chargers have looked good the last couple weeks, although they've beaten up on the teams like the Bears and the Jets. Jets good defense, but obviously their offense leaves a lot to be desired. I like the Lions to go out there. A little bit of a step up game for the Chargers. I like the Lions to go out there, cover that 3 point spread. Lions -3 at LA Chargers. That's my first pick of the week.
I like that one. I exactly like you said. I think that's a team that sort of started to get it going in the right direction. Granted, it's been against bad opponents, and other than that punt return touchdown, that
Yeah,
offense left a lot to be desired. But to be fair, like no one's really done a whole hell of a lot of anything against that Jets defense
absolutely.
anyway. So yeah, that's I got nothing against that pick. Um, yeah, I think the Lions coming off the bye is tasty, but I think it's almost like a trap-ish line. I feel like a field goal kind of is a little enticing to anyone who might be a better on the Lions. So yeah, I like taking the other side of that. Herbert kind of getting it going, hopefully a little bit
Okay.
for you. My first game, I'm going to turn to. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars +3 at home. It's a game where I feel like Vikings are coming off the bye, or Vikings, excuse me, the 49ers are coming off the bye. They're probably going to be geared up, ready to go, having those back-to-back losses in their, system. But I don't know, man. The Jaguars are good. They got off to kind of like a sloppy start to the season, and have sort of been, looked like they're having a little bit of a hangover from that playoff run and how good they were to close the last season. They had some questionable stuff going on with the new play caller instead of Doug Peterson actually calling the plays, but I think they've got it together. I think that's a good football team. They're getting 3 points at home. I don't know. Maybe this is foolish. I almost would like it better if they were a favorite, but I just think they win the game regardless. So I'll take the 3 points. I like Jacksonville to keep it rolling. I'll take them at home this week plus the three.
Yeah, I mean the Jags have been as good as anybody after the first couple weeks of this year. Them and the Bengals really two of the teams playing the best football right now in the NFL, in my opinion. All right,
Yeah, and
yep.
I think Trent Williams is like still going to be out, and
That's
that San
that's
Francisco,
big.
that team just looks they just look so. It's crazy to say about an offensive lineman, left tackle. I get it's a super valuable position, but you don't think like that it's necessarily going to change an entire team dynamic. But they're a different football team when he doesn't play, man.
I mean, he might be the best in the league. Andy's he's a tone setter.
Yeah,
He's a big dude.
right.
Um,
Yeah,
he's kind of like a bodyguard for some of those guys, some of those skill position guys out there. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, that's a big deal for sure. All right, my second pick of the week, kind of like what you said about the Lions -3 being a little bit of a, what's the right word? A little bit tempting maybe to the casual better. I feel like I'm playing into the book's hands right now, but I just love this. I love this line. Maybe it's my Packers hatred. I like Steelers -3 at home versus the Packers. Um, I know Packers got a win last week. They're maybe getting things rolling in the right direction a little bit, but I think the Steelers are legitimately a playoff contender, and I think the Packers just are not. If the Steelers are going to be legitimate playoff contenders, they got to win a game like this. Steelers -3 at home versus the Packers. That's my second pick of the week.
I like it. It's funny you going against the Packers. The Packers came through clutch for me last
Yeah,
week. It was like I said, they had just looked so bad. I didn't really get why they were over, the 3.5 point favorite at home. And they covered easily. That was like just a zero sweat type of game for the most part. So yeah, shout out to the Packers doing something I could be happy with for once in my life. But yeah, I'm right back with you. I like going against them. I'm not on the Steelers myself just
okay,
because it's a tough team for me to trust.
sure.
And I don't know, man. They're just up and down. They're a roller coaster of a team. But they get it done, and it's a tight line at home. You got to think they find a way to win by give you at least a push. I think there's no way they don't win that game by a field goal at least. So I got nothing against that pick. My next one, I'm going to turn to a team that teams that feel sort of like they're going in opposite directions. I'm going to take the Bucks at home. It's -1. You could take the money line at -112 right now. It's essentially a pick 'em. They're playing the Titans. Um, Bucks haven't won a game in a little while. They've been struggling a little bit. They were very competitive down in Houston. Obviously, crazy situation in that game. The Bucks kind of make a drive to take the lead super late, and then Texans somehow come straight back down the field even later with Stroud having some magic. That was a hell of a football game down in Houston last week. But I think Tampa's solid. Baker Mayfield's been pretty decent this year, and I think that Tennessee is sort of riding that high of Will Levis, who's been a nice jolt in the arm for them. And I still like Vrabel as a coach. Maybe they're feeling good about the vote of confidence that Will Levis got this week, that he's going to be the starter going forward, no matter what, even if Tannehill would be ready to play. But I just think you got 2 games of film on Levis now. You got a pretty good Bucks defense. I don't love Todd Bowles as a head coach. I never have. I hated him when he got the job at the Jets. I think he was kind of, he's been around forever. I don't want to say he didn't earn his opportunity per se, but he was sort of gifted that job with his being Bruce Arians' boy. I just don't think he's a great head coach, but I do think he knows a lot about what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball. So I think he'll have them firing against a rookie quarterback. I just kind of like that matchup of that defense going against a rookie quarterback. I think it'll be difficult for Tennessee to move the ball and score points. So if you don't want to mess with them, take the money line. It's pretty straight up even money anyway. But we always play the board, so I'll lay the point.
I like it. I like that pick. It seems like Tennessee's kind of a general public kind of hot team ever since Will Levis came out 2 weeks ago and played pretty well. I like Tampa in that game as well. But like you said, I'm not on them. Just like you said on my picks. My third pick of the week, I'm gonna go to Bill Belichick, and I'm gonna bet the under in Foxborough. Pats versus the Colts. It's under 43 is the number.
It's in I think it's in Germany.
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I don't know if Germany or just it's definitely
It's
somewhere over there
it's
though.
in Europe.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Yep.
gonna let it ride. I was kind of hoping it was in Foxborough, but I'm gonna do the under 43 in Colts at pass. But I guess it's a neutral site in theory, or in reality, not in theory. Um, under 43 in that game. Neither quarterback scares me. I think both these defense can play average ball. I think 43 is a relatively high number in a game like this. Under 43 Colts versus Pats. It's my third pick of the week. Don't feel great about it now that I know it's overseas, but I'm gonna stick with it. Colts Pats under 43.
Yeah. No, those games are tough. Like I said, I was on the Jaguars twice this year when they were over there because they go over there all the time. I feel like they got it figured out. The other teams are just a little too much of an outlier, a little too unpredictable since it's so rare that those games occur. I feel like most teams go over there once every like couple years. But yeah, you've been killing the over unders all year. I know I keep saying you got to figure out what your over under record is. So maybe you'll actually do that one of these weeks before it's all said and done. But hey, I've done two over unders. I'm 1-1 coming off
Okay.
of an over under loss. So I don't love them, and I definitely not picking one this week. I'm gonna turn to. There's a couple things that were going on in my head this week. One is like the Seahawks Commanders game. I don't. I kind of don't know why the Seahawks aren't at least a touchdown favorite. They're 6.5 right now. Kind of makes me think Washington's like a sneaky pick, and I don't know why the Ravens are such a heavy favorite. Cleveland's been solid. Um, and I feel like I kind of want to take the Browns. That's sort of been my team when I've been on them, but like that feels like a sucker line too. Long story short, I'm going to stay off of those two games. I feel like I got some vibes on, and I'm going to go. I hate to do it, but I'm going to go against the Vikings. They've been good to me all year. They're always in those tight games. I might be like 4 or 5-0 on the Vikings. I don't know if I picked them 5 times. I guess this is what week 10. I'm probably like 3 or 4-0 on the Vikings. They've been really good to me every time I've been on them. I lost actually no, because I lost with them on the Chiefs. I was on the Vikings when they played the Chiefs as well. That's my only loss with them. But they're a competitive team. I just feel like that magic's got to run out a little bit. They started the year, they were losing all those one possession games that they won last year. They had that crazy good record, and it was finally starting to go against them. And then all of a sudden, they've sparked that magic again these last couple weeks. One of the cooler games you'll see with that Josh Dobbs situation last week coming in, not knowing anybody on the team,
Yep.
going over his cadences and all that sort of stuff. I think that the Saints didn't look great against the Bears. I think a lot of people are pretty down on their offense in general. I just think their defense is really good. They're -3 on the road in Minnesota. I don't know if the Vikings are going to be able to keep finding that magic. I really do like Kevin O'Connell as a coach. I think he's awesome, honestly. I really do. But I think it's going to be tough for them to move the ball this week. Uh, and I like the Saints to take care of business, cover that number 3 against the Vikings team that's probably kind of like a sexy pick catching points at home right now.
They're definitely a vibes pick. It seems like everybody in America is rooting for
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs right now. So I like where your head's at with that pick. All right, quick recap. My three picks of the week: under 43 Colts at Patriots in Germany, Lions -3 at the LA Chargers, and the Steelers -3 at home versus the Green Bay Packers. Jack is on the Jaguars +3 at home versus the Niners, the Bucks -1 at home versus Tennessee Titans, and he is on the New Orleans Saints -3 at the Minnesota Vikings. I just locked the parlay. We're looking at about $1,000 on a $20 bet if it hits. So that's what we're looking at, baby. So playing each one of those, one unit. My unit's bigger than $20, but not crazy big. So playing each of those to win a unit, and then a little bit of a smaller sprinkle on the on that parlay. So it'd be a nice lick if we hit that on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it starting early with the Germany game. Big Jack, what's your thoughts heading into this weekend here? How you feeling?
Yeah, I love it. I like you said, I love that one of us is on that early game. Always makes it a little more interesting to, hopefully get a nice taste early on, get it going, get it moving in the right direction. Maybe they are playing in Foxborough, just a, early kick out there. Get up and at them
I
if you're
have
in the
heard
New England area.
I have heard that people call Germany Foxborough Far East, so that works out great.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense. Fair enough. But yeah, no, it'll be a fun weekend. A lot of good matchups this week. Outside of the games that we obviously touched on there. There's some good games this week, man. I'm looking forward to the slate. Like always, it's crazy to think we're already officially more than halfway through
It's
the season now. This is
crazy.
week 10. It flies by, so you got to enjoy it while it's here. There's not much better than NFL Sundays. So
I feel like the
looking
older
forward to
we get, the
locking it in.
faster it goes too, man. It's fucking crazy. I can't believe that
Yeah.
half a season is done. It's wild. But all right,
Yep.
let's we pick some winners. Let's keep that positive momentum going. I had a setback last week. Let's bounce back this week. Both go 2-1 or better. 6-0 would be great. I wouldn't mind a quick G in the bank account, but hit it for him one time, Jack.
Yeah, 2-1, stacking, baby. Just keep riding. We're getting somewhere one of these days.
Hell yeah.
Bears.
Like and subscribe. Watch the Bears preview video and get your bets in.